everyone, and welcome to the Traveling Knitter channel. My name is Steph, and this is the first episode of 2024. It's January's wrap up. I'm excited. I love New Year's. I love having those resolutions, those goals, all of it. I love it. And I talked a bit about that in my Everything That I Knit in 2023, and I am moving forward with them. So first up, what have I finished in the new year? Things. I finished things. Namely my festival sweater that I just hit myself with a face in. My size? Okay. She be done. Now, it's not blocked. And when I put it on, I noticed there's quite a bit of excess fabric here. Did I pick a size that would be, I think I picked something that would be slightly more oversized, but I'm thinking I can block it out. I don't like how it's coming in. So I'll block it, and I'm sure it is gonna grow because I full on did a swatch, measured it, then washed it, blocked it, measured it again so that I would know what my pre and post blocking would be. Okay, I'm clicking the wrong things. Let's see. So for my festival sweater, I knit the size medium, which is a chest circumference of 109 centimeters or 43 inches. I live in the US, so inches, I can picture what that number is, unlike centimeters. The length is supposed to be 59 centimeters or 23¼ I made this, I think an inch longer. So it'll end up growing a bit more, which is fine. I have a longer torso. The yarn I used for the very last time was Double Sunday by Sundness Garn. The two here, this is actually a greenish brown. I want to make a sweater or cardigan or something out of this color. So pretty. And then we have like a brown pink. And then we have the main color. I've said them numerous times on the podcast. I'll go get the tags. There it is. Double Sunday, colorway 9882. And that's one of the stripes. 3553 is another one of the stripes, and the main color is 2321. And the two stripes are petite knit colorways. I really like the sweater. I think it looks really, really cool. I'm actually gonna incorporate this kind of bobble stripe in a mitten pattern for myself. Like, I'm just gonna use this around the cuffs with my leftovers that I have to make a cute matchy mitten set. I have some ends to weave in. I wove in about half, so I have more to go, but I wove in almost enough. Wait, didn't I weave you in? Yeah, okay, I just didn't cut them. So, cause I wove in enough of the ends that you won't see the ends if I were to wear them. Cause I did wear this this week. I wore it this week on camera for work. But I had shown my coworkers that I was making this, so they did recognize that it was a sweater I made. Anyway, yeah, petite knit, festival sweater, very, very cute. I don't think I would knit it again, more so because, like, I would knit it again for somebody else, but I don't need two versions of this sweater because I feel like it's statement-y enough. I mean, maybe I would change my mind. Some people had said that they found or I had heard watching podcasts that they found the bobble part fiddly. I actually liked the bobble part. I thought that part was fun. So this ended up being a complete joy to knit, the whole thing. Very much loved it. So that is finished object number 1. That's right, there's more than one. So in 2024, or this month, I started teaching classes at my one of the local yarn stores here in Columbus. And the first class I taught was a like beginner hat class where you learn how to knit in the round, read a pattern, that kind of thing. And it was the Barley hat by Tin Can Knits. And I wanted to be knitting on Barley hats in the class so that I would have, you know, like a live sample. And then also too, I would have something if people were not at the spot to do decreases, that they wouldn't have to, one, just theoretically learn about decreases or do decreases when they're not ready to do them, and then have to undo their work. So I had 2 hats ready to go so that people could do decreases in class. So I made 2 hats, and this is using very old yarn that I loved this stuff. This is naturallycaron.com, Caron Country, and it is a merino wool blend with acrylic. So it's a 75% micro denier acrylic, it's 25% merino wool, 3 ounces, 85 grams, 185 yards. And it's glossy and shiny. This is deep taupe. They were just beautiful colors that they had. So I've got a couple left still. And then they also had another line called Spa. This one's more floppy. This one was 75% acrylic, 25% bamboo. So yeah, this Caron out here in the early 2000s making like natural, or attempting to. It's really soft. Oh, and it printed on recycled paper. Like they were trying. I really liked this yarn brand. Now, okay, is this gonna stay up there? It's splitty. I will say that. This yarn is and was splitty. But if you're not knitting with super sharp needles, it's not that big of a deal, and you notice it pretty well. So there they are. I made 2 different sizes because, as I've said before, I donate hats, and you never know what kind of size. So this is what it looks like. Ooh, should I wear this one? Yeah. There it is. Two additional hats for donation, going in the pile, but I love these colors together too. Jewel tones, I love them a lot. I have some leftovers of that yarn. I was keeping them in this little gnome bag. So I have more of the blue because the blue was a smaller one. Not a ton of the purple. I don't think there's enough to make another one. So I was thinking of doing some sort of color work with them, and maybe, because I do have some neutrals over there, to combine these with the neutrals. So we'll see, but more hats for donation. And those are, as this wobbles, my completed objects. 3 to start off the year. Feels great. So now to get in, oh, not even 3. I have a 4th one. I totally forgot. I made another Garter Ridge hat for my friend's children, or child. Her name is Rebecca. So I needed to make the other hat a bit larger, and I decided to just make her a whole new hat because it honestly was going to take me almost this, well, I'm exaggerating, but I felt like it was going to take me the same amount to just knit her a new little hat than to undo the other one. And I liked the way this looked rather than breaking it with a different color because I ran out of yarn. So I went with this one, and I hope she likes this one. So I need to get over there. He lives on the complete opposite, almost the complete opposite side of town. So it genuinely takes me 40 minutes to get over to where he lives, but that's okay. So I need to bring this hat over to them. Oh, it was my birthday yesterday, and he sent me a video of his daughters singing me happy birthday, and like, it was so cute. It was so cute. Because the littler one, Rebecca, she was like wanting to blow out candles that didn't exist. So she had like her finger and was gonna blow out her finger. It was funny. Kids are funny. So, fourth object. I impressed myself. All right, so next are the projects I currently have on the needles, and I'm gonna go through all of them, and all of them are gonna get logged in my, I almost said Tableau. In my bullet journal. Yes, that's what I'm using, a bullet journal. Where to start? I'm just gonna randomly pick up things. So, one of the purple sweaters that I am currently working on is my azalea sweater, and I have the entire body completed. The only thing that's not completed is binding off. This yarn is a pain in the ass to bind off when you want to do that seamless, what is that called? Why can't I think? Sewn, not Kitchener, not 3 needle. Italian bind off? Is that what it's? That doesn't sound right to me. Oh my gosh. Editing staff will put the name on here because I can't remember. But this one where it's continuous. This is a pain in the butt because it just catches. There are so many stitches, so you have to have so much yarn to sew through. So I started it, and I think this took me half an hour to do. I know, right? Half an hour. So I decided to put it down, and when I watch a movie or something, I will pull this out because I know once I, cast on these sleeves are gonna be a breeze, and then I'm gonna have another sweater. Like, oh my gosh, what if I have this sweater finished in February? That would be insane. I would love that. So this is the azalea sweater. It is by, might as well, I've got my iPad here. This is by Knits by Giselle, or Giselle Ucardi. I was a test knitter, and obviously I suck. You can check my videos from 2023, but basically that was a lot of drama about getting the yarn and timing. Yeah, so anyway, instead of the recommended needles, I went down to a 4.5, 4 millimeter. I almost always have to go down because I am a very loose knitter, but then I need to add length to most of my things. I am knitting the size medium, which has a bust circumference of 47.5 inches, or what is that? 121 centimeters. It should be 22, or I think I went to 23 rather than 22 3/4. Just went to 23 inches. It looks pretty complicated, and I think Like, it looks very impressive. And I'm very excited for this. I went pretty oversized. I'm hoping I don't regret that. I feel like I want an all over cabled sweater that has this sort of look, but I want it to be more form-fitting so that I can have two options. The yarn that I'm using is Drops Air in color 41. It's like a lavender pink, purple. What is wrong with me today? I can't, like, the words that are coming out of my mouth are not the words that my head is thinking. Anyway, I have two different dye lots here, unfortunately. I have one full skein to attach to the sleeves so that I'll split up the one full skein that I have into 250s, and then I will probably go, wait, this is 25, right? So it's not 50 grams. Yeah, it's 50 grams. So I'll split it into 25 grams and I'll probably knit 20 grams and then start alternating to bring in the new colorway. The bottom hem is a different dye lot and you can absolutely see that on camera. When I was knitting on this at night, it was a much closer color, but at least from what I'm looking at, it is completely different. Oh, that's such a bummer. I mean, I knew it was gonna be different, but holding it up, it's a lot different, right? The top is purple, the bottom's pink. It's fine. We've already hashed this. We've already discussed this. It is just what it's gonna be. Maybe it's just because I'm looking at it in, like, honestly, it's golden hour right now. So maybe it's because of that. I don't know. It looked a lot better at night. And now that I'm looking at it, it's like so different. It looks like a completely different color, right? Right? You can tell where I started it. I mean, okay, so when I hold it up there, it's not as bad, but you can see here, that's the color. And then I did 2 rounds in the original color and then I switched. You can see it. You can absolutely see that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is in a big bag that I got at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. It's great. Next, in this adorable Christmassy bag that is more woodland foresty than Christmas, but it's got both vibes. This is from Birch Grove. I am knitting the Moon Cloud Shawl. I'm not as far as I wanted to be with this, but I am making progress. And here is said progress. So the last time you saw, I was here. So I finished the lace and I've gone to the transition part where you are knitting 2 rows in one color and then 2 rows in the other. And so then when I finish this, it'll be just that orange. So here's how much I have of my first color. It's a green, very pretty. And then the second one is this orange. I love this. It's like a yellow orange. These are all single ply. This is my advent calendar from Artemis Yarns for 2023. And it's the Iris Advent calendar, which was Advent Sundays, full skeins, single ply. Artemis single, which is 100% superwash merino. Do I have all the, okay. All the colors that I'm using, I have Soft Citrus is the green. Then Sunkissed is the orange. And it will then blend into Sweetheart, Wisteria, and lastly, Blue Sky. The pattern, the Moon Cloud shawl, is by Artemis Yarns, and it uses all 5 of the colorways, but I adjusted the pattern so that I have one additional section. One, so that I would be able to use up more of my yarn, and 2, so that the shawl is symmetrical. I just didn't love that it wasn't symmetrical. So I am making some adjustments to it, and I am excited. And I am weighing it because, like, I worked out the math and I shouldn't run out of yarn, but it is pretty close. It is going in with the assumption that the yarn management information that's in the pattern matches up to what I use. So I'll know once I finish up using my green how close I am to it. And if I'm over, then I just need to probably remove a round or remove 4 rows or something. So it'll be fine. But that's what it looks like. I think that green section is gorgeous. And then the stripy section, which looks very blended, looks really pretty as well. The pattern is made to do either 4-color or 5-color transitions. So, and then there's 2 sizes of the shawl based on if you do 4 or 5. In this bag, which is my Magner bag, I have a sweater that I did not touch. I did not work on this sweater at all. This is my Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Made Designs. I am knitting the size medium, which is a bust size of 36 to 38. Or 91.5 to 96.5. My bust, just like with most women, changes based on what I'm wearing. So like right now I am wearing a, it's not a sports bra, but basically it's in the shape of a sports bra and there's padding. So I'm probably adding 4 inches to my bust because of the bra that I'm using. So keeping that in mind, I size up a little bit. Okay, the yarn that I'm using is a combination of Dye Mad Yarns, which is local to me dyer. They actually have a store literally up the street from where I used to live. They opened their store the month that I moved away. It was like, very, very close. But it's okay. This is the National Bubble Tea Day colorway, and I am pairing it with Rowan Kid Silk Haze in color 697, which I believe said lavender on the website. So those are the 2 tags. They look like this, and knit together it looks like this, or like that. Look at that. I knit a swatch, and I blocked the swatch, and I put my dimensions in my knitting pattern. So there you go. There it is. Not much to say other than it looks very similar to the azalea. but I'm not gonna run out of yarn. At least I better not. Next up, I started a balaclava for one of my coworkers. We were talking about the weather. January has been terrible here in Ohio. And she mentioned that she needed to get like a balaclava or something to cover her face. And I was like, I can make you one. What color do you want? So she gave me a list of colors and I just grabbed a skein of yarn and here it is. So she wanted one where it just goes like opens over your eyes. So I made it long enough if she wanted like all this excess fabric down here, but then you can also roll it up if it's too much. So I have just dropped a stitch. So I've finished the eye hole and I've got, you know, a bit more to knit and then time to do the decreasing. I'm using, I think, Loops and Threads Impeccable. It is a worsted, but more of a, like a thicker worsted. It does feel pretty thick. I am knitting this on a US 5 3.75. I'm not following a pattern. I cast on 80 stitches because I felt like that was, you know, okay for a hat, whereas you would want this to be a bit tighter, plus the whole thing is ribbing. So 80 stitches, and then I knit until I thought you would have an eye hole, right? And I didn't want to do half because I thought that would just be too much, like, right? Like your eyes aren't on the side of your head, like your ears are in front. You know this, you're a human, unless there's AIs watching, in which case I also would still hope you would know that humans' eyes are on the front of their face. Anyway, I decided to cast off 30 stitches and then cast on 30 again to make the hole. It looks a little weird right now because I've only done like 3 rounds to connect it again, but my plan is to have this finished by Wednesday, like Tuesday really, so that I can bring it into work. I think I'm going into work on Wednesday. I don't know. I'm gonna bring it into work so she can have her balaclava. And I've got quite a bit left. Not enough to make a second balaclava, but enough to make like a hat. So there it is. This will be done. And then I'll have another skein of acrylic out of my stash, which feels great. Like, ah, I love it. I love the feeling of using something up. It's great. And I said there's no pattern, I'm just making it up. Next are these socks. I feel sad that I stopped working on these, but I need to continue. I'm at the heel. These are the Forest Trail socks. I'll put the name of the designer. It's from one of the Lina 52 Weeks of Socks books, this volume 2. And this is just using leftover yarn. I probably could have done a better job choosing my yarn, but here we are, it's fine. This is a leftover gray, and then this is Luna Bud. Luna Bud knits the colorway Thanatos in the yarn Buddy, which is their 75/25. And I'm at the point to do the heel, and I am going to do a heel flap and gusset on this, I decided. So I just need to get back to it on these. This guy, this is my Italian summer shawl scarf. I randomly decided to cast this on because I needed something simple to knit on while working, which I honestly don't do that often. What is happening here? Have I literally? Yes. Why? Okay, I have 2 stitches on 1 needle. I'm just gonna move them over because I don't think I need them there. Here's what it looks like. It's a very, very simple scarf shawl with some eyelets, and I am using, is this Shawl in a Ball is what this is called? It's a Lion brand. It's discontinued. I've made other shawls out of this, and I think it just turns out really nice. So it gradiates, there's a gradient to it, and I'll probably be able to make 2 from this skein, which that'll be really cute. Heck, maybe I'll keep one of them. Italian Summer is by, I don't think it's on the paper. My recommendation, designers, please put your name on the footer of your patterns, because I do not print the first page because typically it's a big picture with no information, and I honestly don't need to waste the ink on the big picture. So then I don't have your name, because a lot of times that's the only spot you put your name. So if you're printing, put it on the footer down here, or put it on the header, so that no matter whatever page I'm printing, your name is there. Because I don't know who the designer is off the top of my head. It'll be on the screen though. I think it's gonna be so pretty. I just forget that I have this. So I think too, because I cast on Brioche Adventures and the Moon Cloud shawl, I just haven't put anything into this, because those are a bit more fun while still being mindless. This is in my Freckled Whimsy bag, one of the very first project bags that I ever bought. It's very cute. And it has a handle. In this fringe field bag, one of the fringe bags, I have All of the Lights by Joji Locatelli. I did not work on this at all this year or last year. It's in the exact same position that it was. I'm not, actually, I am kind of worried that my gauge might be different now, since it has been literal years and it's cables. I'm worried. I might actually have to rip this out and start this over again. I want this. I want this. I bought this yarn for this project. It's an all over cabled cardigan. It uses, or I'm using, this yarn that I special ordered from Stitches Midwest. No. Vogue Knitting Live? Yeah, I think Vogue Knitting Live here in Columbus. And it was mailed to me. This is Fiber Seed and Sprout DK. And the colorway is Rustic. It's so pretty. I want this cardigan. So if I rip this out, it's not because I'm not making it, it's because I think my gauge changed. Then in this cute bag, here we have the Casualty. This is a sock that I cast on for summer sock camp, and I got to the heel and I stopped, and I've just never continued on. And I was honestly thinking of ripping it out because I was worried it's too tight, but now that I put it on my hand, I don't think it is. I need to work on this. Also, the pattern is very like hard to remember. It's a lot of work. This is Avena socks. This one was had some controversy, quite a lot of controversy actually, because the terminology for the cast on they wanted you to use was Chinese waitress or something. I glossed over that part in the pattern, I feel like, because I normally don't pay attention to what cast on they want me to do. If I'm knitting socks, I'm doing my German longtail cast on. So I don't really pay attention to the cast on that's asked for. Same with bind off. Maybe I just call it Italian because that's what I was just about to say. Italian tubular bind off. That's the word. Yeah. So that was loud. I'm using Kobasi by Haiku, which is 55% cotton, 16% bamboo, 8% silk, and 21% elastic nylon. 220 yards per 50 grams. I have 4 skeins of this because I did not understand how much yarn socks take. I'm also knitting this on my Crazy Trio. These are pretty expensive in the US, but in Germany they were 10 euros, which is basically $10. So that's my tip. If you can go to Europe, specifically Germany, these are not that expensive over there. I like buying fixed circular needles when I go to Germany because they are a good price over there. Next, this guy. This I'm sad that I kind of lost steam on. I'm gonna work on this again, don't worry. This is not a pattern I even have up on my iPad anymore. Okay. This is the Solaris top, which is a tank top that is pretty open back. And it has this lace in the middle, lace on the bottom. It's pretty detailed. I had a struggle with this because the pattern for my size is, there's something wrong with it. So I had to fix it. And to fix it, I just needed to shift over where the middle center piece of the stitch pattern started. And I don't think it's gonna cause any issues, but I wrote it down and I I marked what I moved so that once I get to the end of like this pattern, that if something seems off, I can either add a stitch or get rid of a stitch or something. So that is that. This is using, oh, this ball band is in the living room. It is using Nice and Knit in the colorway Crab Cakes. It's really pretty. It's on a grayish white base with orange and blue. Super pretty. And I just noticed the sun has been going down, so the golden hour is gone, and now it's getting dark. Does it help if I turn the lighting on? Or do I need to plug this in if it can reach? Does that help? Is it any better? I honestly can't tell because the ring light is a little bit lower than where the camera is. Okay. And Solaris is by Maria Jesus Camus. And I'm knitting the size 4 on that one with a bust circumference of 94 centimeters or 37 inches. These two are designs that I've had on my needles forever, and I always make a plan that I'm gonna finish them and then I don't. This is one that I'm calling Jane Seymour, and this one I have been calling the Weltington Shawl. So that's those two. Ugh, there's more. What is in here? Oh, okay. This is my Brioche Adventure wrap using 2022 Advent minis from Teal Torch Knit, which are, you can't see it, they're up here. And this is what it looks like so far. So it's 2-color brioche where your main color becomes the contrast, or your contrast color becomes the main color when you go up. So that's what this guy looks like. And we're currently working off these two that look very, very similar, but I will soon be blending this guy, which has a tinge of green to him. So that's fun. This is in my Paradise Island bag that I got at Cakepalooza last year. It is, oh gosh, you can't really tell with the colors because of the ring light now. Can you? It's a blush pink with a burnt orange. I love burnt orange, so pretty. I also have this guy. This is a shame that this is not further. And you can tell I randomly in December was like, I'm gonna knit some of you. My gauge is completely different. Yeah, right? Like you can see that. Look how different that gauge is. It's fine, it'll block out. It's not a big deal. It's just really funny looking. This is, gonna move my stitch marker here. There we go. This is a blanket by Skaynanigans. It is, oh, I'm blanking on the name of this guy as well. Northeasterly. It's the Northeasterly blanket. And the yarn that I'm using is all in this basket. And it's Caron Country for the contrast colors. Not Caron Country, Caron Simply Soft in Persimmon, Bone, Mint Blue, and Limelight. And then the main color is Bernat Baby Sport in gray, baby gray. So the contrast colors are worsted. The main color is Sport. You can kind of feel it, but honestly, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal in the blanket. This needs to be finished. I've been wanting to cast on a different blanket by Laura Penrose, and I'm not having two blanket whips on the needle. So this has to be done before I can cast that one on. And the plan right now is I have done every single color, right? There's all 4, and I am going to reverse it. So I've done the green, I'm gonna go back to the blue, to the bone, to the persimmon, and that's the plan. And at that point, then I need to pick what direction am I gonna go. I'm kind of thinking with green being in the middle, it will then be blue being in the middle because it'll be blue, green, blue. So I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. It's either that or green will come here and then persimmon will be in the middle. So we'll see what I decide. two more. I just cast on for a test knit that I am in, and this is using 2 skeins of yarn from Dererum Natura. I like want to say it in a fancy way. Dererum Natura? Natura? It is in Berenice and Albertine. Berenice is 55% Super Kid mohair, 25% silk and 20% wool. And then Albertine is 90% wool and 10% silk. And they are different colorways because they didn't have one that matched this. So the colorway, this one is Sage and this one is Armoise, A-R-M-O-I-S-E. I'll look it up and put it on the screen what that word means. So they are different colors. Because of the artificial color, it's like this is a sagey green and this is definitely more blue. Combined in my swatch, this is what it looks like. So I'm about to cast off on my swatch. This probably doesn't look lazy, but to me this is a lazy swatch. Basically I just cast on as many stitches as I needed to do it in the round, and then I will knit in the round because the sweater is knit in the round, and then I will cast off, I will block it, blah blah blah, and then I have my swatch, and then if I need to like use the yarn for my swatch, I can. Like I could just undo it rather than knitting in the round and then having one side where it's just the stuff, which my Cozy Classic Raglan, that was what I had. But this just is less fiddly. So there's what it looks like. It's quite nice. And this is a test knit for Making Stories, and it is a sweater called Wisteria, I believe. It has a detail on the raglan, and then it has a bit of a peplum frill. And that's everything on my needles. It's a lot. And it's not including my cross stitch. So that's everything. I did mention that it was my birthday because I am filming this on the 2nd of February, but yarn that or things that have come into my life for stash acquisition was 9 skeins of the Berenice, 9 skeins of the Albertine, and then my mom got me a cute project bag from the Fiber Company. It is a waxed canvas bag, and she also got me Echoes, which is from the Lina publication. It is 24 modern knits inspired by iconic women, and I just love pretty much everything that Lina does. I really like the shawl in here that is called Bronte. I really like that. How huge it is. So pretty. And call out another thing I really liked in here. It's got colorwork sweaters, cardigans, socks, the shawl. There's some vests because vests are, you know, very in this cabled cardigan. So pretty. Very outlandery. It's probably the outfits too. So pretty. Yeah, that's on my needles. It's a lot, but I'm not feeling that overwhelmed. I am loving everything, and I'm feeling, oh, I forgot one thing. My January socks. Would you like to see what they look like? They're cast on, guys, and I'm on the leg. But that's all I got. So, yeah, but doesn't it look so cute? This is using the A Homespun House Patreon March sock set from a March in the 2020X. I don't remember if it's 22 or 23 or 21. I don't remember, but it's Tea Room and Bubblegum. But then I also added this yellow. So those are the two colors that the sock set was. And then I added yellow for, I think the toes are where I'm gonna do the yellow. So cute. And I'm keeping it in this Let That Shiitake Go from Joann's. So cute. And the pattern I am knitting is out of Splendid Souls, which is a pattern booklet by Knit Picks. And the socks that I'm knitting are the Anna socks by Louise O'Neill. And it's hard to tell, but it's a cabled pattern. So with that, even though I'm not finished with these, and I have two other socks on my needles, I am going to draw for the February socks. And I better get 2 pairs of socks finished this month. Or yes. So here they all are. And I'm gonna pick this one, which is Ryan Yarn Sweetest Peaches. Here they all are. And that one is right here. Ryan's Yarn Sweetest Peaches, and I paired it with Emma's Yarn Mini Fame and Fortune. And I got this when my friends and I went down to Atlanta to go see Blackpink and ITZY, because they both went to Atlanta the same weekend. It was awesome. If you're new here, hi, I love K-pop and Screamo music and Disney music all over the board. I don't like country. I don't like country or religious music other than Christmas. But even then, it's got, like, I love Pentatonix. Oh, and Lindsey Stirling. Love Lindsey Stirling, would love to see her live. Anyway, those are gonna be the February socks. I can't wait. It's beautiful. The purple speckles will go perfectly with the Emma's mini skein. And that's that. It's everything new that has entered my life craft-wise. As for life updates, I officially started my full marathon training. I have never run a full marathon. I oscillate between being terrified and being nonchalant. Of course I can do it. I can do anything. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I paid money, so I'm doing it. I also booked flights to Germany with my friends for our vacation, which I'm very excited for. And in March, we are doing a little mini reading vacation where I booked an Airbnb in the woods near Columbus. And we're just going for the weekend and we're just gonna read books and hang out. And I am honestly equally excited for both of those. And it's gonna be great. So that'll be awesome. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up because I need to go to my birthday dinner. We're going to a place called Cento, which is 50 in Italian. Not Cento, like I thought. But it looks amazing. The pictures look amazing. My coworker had mentioned it and she said it was really, really good. So I'm looking forward to it because Italian food is one of my favorites. I love carbs. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a heart. Ooh, that's a millennial heart, isn't it? Is that it? How about this? I have my door open here, and so it then leads into my kitchen hallway main door, and I don't know what is going on today, but I feel like either somebody's moving, but I feel like people can hear me and I'm like self-conscious about it now. Anyway, if you like the video, please give it a like, share it, do all of those things. It really does help me out, the channel out, for more people to see it. I don't make any money off of this. I'll disclose that right now. I don't make money off of this. I started this channel in a hotel room almost 10 years ago. I've never made any money off of this. So it's purely a hobby and I love documenting it. How are you guys doing with your beginning of the year knits? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling like ready to tackle your goals and get stuff done? How are you feeling in January? Has your January been rainy as well, like ours has? It's been so wet here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.